The mysterious story that will be told in this video took place 34 years ago. The victim was a young girl who died in her own apartment. All attempts to find the culprit did not bring results, and new technologies of evidence examination were powerless. Even specialists from the FBI were engaged in this case without success. But still, in October 2023, the name of the killer was named. Subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click the bell to get notifications about new videos. Wichita, Sedgwick County, Kansas. In 1989, there were about 300,000 people living here. It is a very developed and diverse city. It not only has the largest airport in the state, but also Wichita is considered the cultural center of Kansas. There are many museums, theaters, and art galleries in this city. Krista Lee Martin was born and raised in Hayesville, a suburb of Wichita. It was there that she graduated from South Pines Ave High School in 1987. She soon decided to move to Wichita for more opportunities. Christa spent Sunday evening, October 1st, 1989, at a local bar called Toto's before returning home. A friend of the girls was unable to reach her and arrived at her apartment at approximately 2 a.m. The friend arrived at her apartment. The man went inside and saw the friend lying on the couch. It turned out that Christa was dead. The police called in found no signs of a struggle in the apartment, and the front door showed no signs of forced entry. Also, nothing had been stolen. The deceased was fully clothed, and although the forensic expert determined that shortly before her death she was with a man, he concluded that there were no signs of violent actions. The cause of death of the 20-year-old girl was blunt trauma to the back left side of the head. The crime weapon itself was never found. Naturally, the first thing that caught the investigators' attention was the young man who discovered Krista Martin's body. His arrival at his friend's house in the middle of the night seemed rather strange. The man explained it by intuition, which told him that something might have happened to Christa, and he decided to check why she did not answer the phone. He was eventually taken off the suspect list. As police learned, Christa had moved to Wichita, a major city, hoping to make a life for herself there. But things didn't work out the way she wanted. Shortly before her death, she was fired from Kansas Blueprint and moved into an apartment at 506 South Osage. Although Christa never had a history of breaking the law, one disturbing related event occurred a couple weeks before her murder. In September, her neighbor, Beverly Orth, called the police because she heard some noise in the girl's home. Around 3 or 4 a.m., the woman saw two men outside Christa's apartment from her window. They were arguing and yelling loudly at each other. Beverly heard one of them say, "Why did you hit her?" The other man replied, "Because she's a woman and she deserved it." Investigators established the girl's social circle and learned that she often spent time in bars with friends, where she also met guys, and often allowing new acquaintances to give her a ride. And what's more, she invited them home. This fact greatly expanded the list of possible suspects, complicating the work of detectives. All evidence from the crime scene and biological samples from an unknown person on Christa's body have been carefully collected and preserved. This will play a key role in this case. As is known, police officers did not always act this way back in the times when DNA analysis was just beginning to be applied. Despite it being the dawn of human genome research, investigators took material from everyone they considered possible suspects. Over the next 2 years, from 1990 to 92, evidence was examined by experts from the FBI lab, and they compared the DNA found at the scene with that of the suspects. There were no matches. Law enforcement officials did not say who the samples were taken from, or whether they included the two men who argued outside Christa's home shortly before her murder. 6 months after the girl's death, another serious crime committed by Christa's neighbor took place at the same location. He tried to kill the homeowner and then went on the run. The police had to chase him, traveling through several towns. He is now in prison in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, serving time for abuse of a minor and attempted murder. But no connection was found to the crime that had occurred 6 months earlier. Thus, investigators exhausted all possibilities to solve the murder of Krista Martin with the methods at their disposal at that time. Since 1992, the case was closed. until 20 years after the murder, when Amber Moore, the niece of the victim, intervened. "I first became involved in Krista's case in 2009 when I was 21, Amber said. She was older than her aunt at the time of her death. The involvement of the deceased's niece prompted police to send the evidence for more advanced DNA testing. The Sedgwick County Regional Forensic Science Center created a profile of the suspect and then entered it into the CODIS National Consolidated Database. But even that didn't bear fruit. The perpetrator's profile wasn't in it. It took another 11 years for the next twist in the case. In 2020, the FBI and the well-known genealogical laboratory Othram began to study the available evidence. Using forensic-level genome sequencing, the Othram scientists developed a detailed DNA profile of the unknown person. This profile was sent to the FBI's Forensic Genetic Genealogy team, after which the experts began identifying the suspect. This was the first use of this technology in the history of the Wichita Police Department. In 2021, a team consisting of a Wichita police homicide detective and an FBI special agent went on a mission trip to Alabama and then Arkansas, working with other federal agents from Maryland. Their job was to conduct numerous interviews and take additional DNA samples for further analysis from direct relatives of the suspect. Finally, after 2 years, their labors were crowned with success. On Monday, October 2, 2023, the 34th anniversary of Krista Renae Martin's death, the police department called a press conference about the case. In her address, Amber Moore, Krista's niece, thanked investigators and volunteers for their help in solving the case. "I am glad that we can finally move forward and find peace knowing that Krista's killer is not walking free among us," Amber said. "Once again, we extend our sincere thanks to everyone involved in bringing justice to Krista's case. She deserved so much more from this life than what she received in the end." The man whom law enforcement had been searching for so long turned out to be Paul Matthew Hart. His DNA was found on the body of Krista Martin. Initially, it was believed that there had been no assault on the deceased, but later this conclusion was recognized as incorrect. At the time of the murder, he was 22 years old and lived just 6 houses away from the girl. Detective Adam Vandermolen said that despite conversations with Krista's family, Paul's family, his girlfriend at the time, and the records Krista found, police were unable to find any connection between the two. It turned out that Hart was killed in a traffic accident in Memphis, Tennessee, on March 20th, 1999. That was 10 years after Krista's murder. He was 32 years old. He died exactly on the day Krista was to turn 30 years old. After learning all the facts of the case, Sedgwick County Prosecutor Mark Bennett said that if Hart were alive, he would have charged him with Krista's murder. But since he's dead, the case is considered solved. Now I want to consult with you. Which mystery stories do you like better? Solved unsolved crimes or identified unidentified victims? They're often not the same thing. Write your opinion in the comments.